Hello and welcome. I'm an AI expert specializing in modern hospitality, and it's my pleasure to welcome all of you from Europe Hotel School to this online learning journey. Today, we're going to dive into something that's truly changing the game in hotel management: predictive labor. We're talking about a huge shift from old school scheduling to something way smarter. And for you, as future leaders, getting a handle on this, it's absolutely essential.
So here's our game plan. First up, we're going to talk about the old way of doing things. You know, the scheduling problem that has caused so many headaches for so long. Then we'll get to the good stuff, the predictive solution that's shaking things up. We'll see how it puts an end to that constant struggle of being over or understaffed, unpack all the incredible benefits, and, most importantly, connect it all back to the number one priority, the guest.
All right, let's kick things off with a problem that I'm sure many of you can already imagine. It's been a constant source of stress for hotel managers for, well, decades. It's this flawed, really outdated foundation that, believe it or not, a lot of places are still using today.
You see, for decades, hotel scheduling has basically relied on two things: fixed, rigid schedules and these really simple ratios based on occupancy. You know, just a single number to guide the whole day. But this approach, as simple as it sounds, is actually the root cause of a massive, ongoing headache for the entire industry.
And right here, this is where you can see the huge disconnect. Management might look at, say, 80% occupancy and think, okay, we need X number of staff on the clock all day long. But what's the reality for the guest? It's totally different. Demand isn't this flat, even thing. It comes in these intense waves, right? You've got that crazy morning checkout rush and then the big check-in peak in the evening. A flat staffing model? It just can't keep up. This brings us to a really powerful idea. Labor is a perishing commodity. So what does that actually mean? Well, think about it like this. An hour of your team member's time isn't like a can of soup you can put on the shelf for later. Once that hour is gone, it's gone forever. If you have someone just standing around at 10 a.m. because it's slow, you can't just save that hour and use it when things get crazy at 2 p.m. Every single misallocated hour is a permanent loss. Okay, so if the old way is so broken, what's the answer? Well, this is where things get really exciting. We're seeing a totally new paradigm, a new way of thinking, driven by technology that tackles these old problems head-on. And this new approach is called predictive labor management. So what is it? At its heart, it's all about using sophisticated algorithms, smart tech, to basically see into the future. It forecasts what your business is going to look like and then automatically builds the perfect schedule to match. It's a huge shift from just reacting to what's happening to actually predicting it. So, how does this magic actually work? Well, it's a pretty logical three-step process. First, the system just sucks in all the data it can find. We're talking historical patterns, what the current bookings look like, and even what's happening in the city, like a big concert or convention. Then, and this is the real game changer, it forecasts demand not just for the day, but in super precise 15-minute chunks. And finally, with that incredible detail, it just auto-generates the perfect schedule, lining up your staff with the actual flow of your guests. Now, by getting this precise, the system helps us finally stop that constant, costly dance between having too many staff and not having enough. It helps us end what I call the twin financial drains of any hotel operation. Let's really look at the damage these two problems cause. On one hand, you have overstaffing. That's just wasted money, plain and simple. It kills your profitability. But understaffing? Wow, that might be even worse. Your team gets burnt out, leading to high turnover, which costs a fortune. Your guests get frustrated with long waits, and you know where that leads? Negative reviews online. And for your employees, it's just high stress and feeling like they're sinking. Neither of these is a recipe for success, right? So, getting rid of those two big problems is a huge win for sure. But the benefits of this kind of precision, they go way beyond that. This is where we start to see a real transformation in both how efficiently we operate and the level of excellence we can deliver. These benefits create this amazing ripple effect. For starters, it takes that huge administrative headache of building schedules off of your manager's plates. What does that do? It frees them up to actually lead, to coach their teams, to be out on the floor talking to guests. And because you're running a smarter, leaner team, you can often pay people better, more competitive wages, which helps you get and keep the best talent. Plus, the system can automatically handle all those tricky labor laws and union rules, so you're always compliant. It creates this amazing virtuous cycle where efficiency fuels excellence, and that excellence makes you even more efficient. And this chart, this really says it all. It shows the most powerful shift. Before this kind of AI, you'd see managers spending, maybe 80% of their time stuck in the office, wrestling with spreadsheets and paperwork. But after,
That entire dynamic flips on its head. Now they can spend that 80% on what actually matters, coaching their people and engaging with guests. This isn't just a small change, it's a total strategic shift from being a task manager to being a true leader.
And you know, all of this brings us to the ultimate goal, the final and honestly the most important point of all. All this tech, all this data, all this efficiency, at the end of the day, it's all in service of one person, the guest.
I love this quote because it just nails it. When the back of house is run with surgical precision, the front of house can focus on the art of hospitality. Think about that. When all the behind-the-scenes stuff is running like a well-oiled machine, it empowers your team to stop worrying about the mechanics and start focusing on the magic. It frees them up to practice the art of hospitality, creating those amazing, seamless experiences that people remember.
So as you all prepare to become the next generation of leaders in this amazing industry, I want to leave you with a question to think about. Are you training to manage a schedule, or are you training to lead a team? The tools are evolving, and they're making a whole new kind of leadership possible. The only question left is, what kind of leader are you going to be? Thank you so much for your time today.